It all comes down to this game. 2 points between us and Manchester United. Now we go to Old Trafford needing nothing less than a win. A draw would not be enough for us to win the title, let alone a loss.
Welcoming you to Old Trafford, the legendary home of Manchester United, who are chasing yet another title.
والهدف الأول في أحلى الزاوية في أحلى الزاوية الجول من يانج في أحلى الزاوية كنا في ال90.
United starting to throw men forward. They know they need a goal. One goal is all they need to secure themselves the Premier League title. Nano. Oh, send him off. Send him off, ref. Hazard on the counter-attack. Oh.
To the middle. This time he will not be denied. Morata on the board.
We've thrown away the Premier League, despite being 10 points clear. Livio Nigel, 21-year-old midfielder, injured lifting weights. 6 minutes later, James Howard, 19-year-old young fullback, injured lifting weights. Has anyone told them the importance of this match? What are they doing in the gym? Alright ladies, alright gents, alright any dogs and cats watching, this is our chance to finally bring the Premier League trophy back to Ewood Park, quite literally back to Ewood Park. The last time we won the Premier League, we played Liverpool on the final day of the season, where we of course won it at Anfield despite losing the game. Now, I think we lost the game. I'm pretty sure we lost the game. We may have drawn, but United didn't win. You know what? I probably should have checked. I can't remember. But you know what? I'm not going to go back and re-record this. It is what it is. So, I'm just itching to get going, to be honest. This has got to be it. Especially, it feels like the FM gods have surely got to bless us after what happened in the Champions League semi-final for us against Napoli. Liverpool's form absolutely atrocious coming into this game. If we take a look at their schedule, yeah, they've basically been non-existent since the 5th of March. Knowing my luck, they'll beat us. And Man United, well, to be fair, we could still lose if United lose or draw, but that's probably not going to happen because Chelsea aren't amazing. As they probably are in real life. But as long as we win the game, let's just focus on trying to win the game, we should be fine. First though, starting lineups. Andre Gray down the middle has a good record against Liverpool historically. Barbosa on the right, Piaka on the left. Stuck in the middle, Elenia and Morales. Morales, of course, coming back into the side after not playing against Aston Villa because, well, let's just say him getting sent off in the Champions League semi-final put him down the pecking order a little bit. Douglas, no longer unhappy, probably realises that we could win the Premier League, so he's suddenly become a glory hunter. But either way, I don't really mind because he's probably the best player we've got in that deep line playmaker position who can also contribute defensively in front of the back two to give him protection. Varela comes in simply because Varjek hasn't been too impressive in recent weeks, whilst Varela, I feel, has. And Augustinsson's on the left, of course. Callas and Volkvist at the back with Szczesny in goal. As for Liverpool, Coutinho, Firmino, Mane with Berardi up front. Vavra, Marchetti in midfield. Klein, Tierney, Matip, Sarko and Švilar in the goal. These guys, man marking the wide men. Douglas man marking his fellow Brazilian in Firmino. And we do have to be careful, of course, of Berardi, who's really a winger in terms of his day-to-day trade, but very good finishing, very good composure, more than capable of being a very, very good striker in this game. For me, he's more of an inside forward or a deep-lying forward because he's just that good technically. He's more than just a forward on his own, I think. He's more of an Aguero-esque type of player based on his attributes, but I don't know why I'm focusing so much on the other team, even though in theory that is my job. Yeah, counter mentality, usual approach. The IWB should kind of help us maintain stability. Because again, if we draw this game, we're okay. Help the midfield, they'll come inside and try and just help us hold on to the ball a little bit better, obviously. I don't feel like we need to really dedicate too much in the wide areas because Mane, Berardi certainly have pace to burn, and as the game progresses I can see these guys maybe becoming wing backs or a lot more offensive on the overlap with the pace that they both possess. I think the reason why they've started things off defensively is not just because they're away from home, but because they'd be happy with a point, let's be honest, given their current form. But it's important that we don't get complacent. Now, Nyang is on the bench. He's, of course, our top goal scorer this season. He might not be anymore, actually, because Barbosa got his 20th. Yeah, so Nyang still is our top goal scorer of the season. Barbosa with a chance to overthrow him off his throne, of course. But he is there and ready to rumble just in case we might need him. Because if, you know, we're a goal down or something like that, even though he's still slightly injured, I feel like you look at the bench, and if there's anyone on our bench who has a goal in him, it's probably our top goal scorer so far this season. But without further ado, I want to talk about it less and just nosedive straight in and get the match underway. Here we go then. Let's do this. Come on, boys. Augustinson dispossessing Mane already, and that's what we've come to see. Now, one thing we haven't done is rally the troops with a demand more team talk. Let's see what that gets out of them. So far, so good. 2 shots, 2 on target. But well, that's not a great start. Barbosa with the yellow card. I hope we don't see a repeat of obviously what happened to us in the Champions League. But here we go. So this is interesting. Okay, so that's why it looked a little bit strange, because obviously very, very wide formation coming out, which should actually favour us trying to play through the middle from Liverpool. But off the ball, because Piaka and Barbosa are going to obviously be looking to man mark, it will slightly force them out of position. Some nice passing from us. I feel like our front three would benefit from some width right now. Augustinson, though, needs to whip the ball in. Oh, my God. Andre Gray hits the bar. Andre hits the bar, and now Liverpool counter-attack. Varela misses his tackle. Someone needs to tackle Firmino. Marchetti's in, and what a save from Szczesny. That was one hell of a move, not just from us, but from both sides. And it just feels like if that was maybe Nyang, you know, trying to bury that chance, it probably would have been rattling in the back of the net. We're going to increase to a balanced width, and we're also going to change to a mixed passing directness. Actually, you know what? Let's undo that. We'll undo that. We'll increase to a mixed passing directness with retain possession on. Now, our fairly narrow now is slightly wider than what it was before, simply because the way Liverpool are playing, they are going to leave gaps with their width. You know what I mean? Play slightly more direct balls, get them balls in behind to the runners, utilise the creative midfielders that we have, and goals will come. Even though going in towards the end of the season, I have to admit we really have struggled in terms of goals. I'm going to tell the lads I'm not happy with what I've seen so far. Man United, they are beating Chelsea at the moment, and as we can see, I'll get the table up. I'll get the table up. Mata with a 43rd minute goal. I'll get the table up if we concede, of course. If we don't concede, if it's still a draw or a win, we don't care what the Man United result is. But I now need to see how I'm going to change this game. Now, we can't afford a red card at any costs, I feel. But again, it still feels to me like there's wide areas to exploit, but it doesn't really feel right that I try and really do that just yet. One thing I am going to do, actually, is swap Andre and Barbosa around. Hopefully Barbosa, now that he's a shadow striker, has to really do a little bit less defensively, and we'll tell him not to tackle harder as well, because we can't afford a red card. That could end up being the difference between a draw or a loss. But other than that, we'll keep things the way it is. We've kind of yelled at them, but in terms of instructions, I don't really feel like we want to change too much with this second half really kicking off. If it feels like it's still really slow and nothing's happening, then I think I've got a rough idea what I might look to try and change. But you also want to strike that right balance, because we don't need to win the match, if that makes sense. So here we go, second half kicks off, and as always, demand more. We've got 2 centre-backs who are looking nervous, which isn't really ideal, but we are starting to see ourselves spread a tiny little bit wider, which is really what I want. And that's a really good ball from Piaka, good head from Augustinson. Can he find support, though? He can. Again, Piaka, Augustinson, early ball into the box. No, Alenya, Morales finds Piaka, who surely has to score. Andre Gray hits the back of the net. 30 seconds into the second half. And the former Burnley striker may have just scored the goal, the last goal of Blackburn Rovers' next Premier League winning campaign. Right, okay, pause, please. Oh, God, I didn't go defensive. Let's just go defensive for a very short period of time, because we know what we've been like in the past 2 games. We've scored and then conceded in the next 5 minutes. In terms of match stats, we have been completely dominant, and it's very, very refreshing, I have to admit, very, very refreshing that Liverpool have managed 1 shot on target, and that shot on target does not happen to be a goal. So, I'm going to take these off. No need to try and overcomplicate things too much at the current moment in time. I also want to take Get Stuck In off, but because we are amounting quite a few yellow cards, so that's a gamble I'm going to take, simply because we now have the insurance goal that we need, because obviously we'd still win the Premier League if we drew this game. So far so good, so far so good, really good. 65, 69, and probably now is the right time to bring on some fresh legs. The question is, who are these fresh legs, and who comes on? Alenya on a yellow card, but I feel like I can trust him in the middle of the park not to really get sent off. Feels like it's kind of an opportunity for Kunz to come on for Piaka. Now, Piaka's the kind of player, probably my favourite player in this side in terms of how he plays, etc. But he's going to have to come off with only 66% conditioning. Liverpool still no sign of much really coming out from them, and Andre wins the ball back. Finds the pacey German out on the left, who has to whip this ball in, and Gabriel grabs our second. Substitution made, impact made, 16 games without defeat, and if you ask me, we deserve the Premier League title after achieving that. Liverpool's losing streak continues. Their goalkeeper's been absolutely dreadful for both of our goals. But you know what? I don't care. A goal is a goal. And on that note, let's make one more substitution and maybe bring on another player. Romeu will come on as a ball-winning midfielder just to try and break up play a little bit, frustrate Liverpool a little bit. Let's take a quick, cheeky look at the latest scores. Man United still 1-0 up, but their fans will know exactly what's going on. Can we get a third goal? Is it going to be Romeu who grabs it? I think that's offside. Maybe not. Augustinson with the goal. That looked offside to me, but you know what? It's going to make absolutely no difference. We're winning the league. And we're winning the league in style. The corner from Douglas. Really good effort on goal from Romeu. And it almost feels like it was going in. Even if Augustinson hadn't stuck his leg out. But, hey. Let's enjoy this moment. It was Liverpool on the final day of the season the last time we won the Premier League. The year I was born. So, unfortunately, you know, I don't really remember it. And with that, you can figure out how old I am. And please don't concede. Get rid. We could actually score from this, you know, with 30 seconds to go. And it's Liverpool again in this FM17 save where we've had Blackburn Rovers engraved on the trophy once again. Who would have thought that ex-Arsenal man Chesney would actually end up winning a Premier League? I certainly wouldn't, but he has. He's come in this season as a replacement for Rajkovic in goal, and what a job he's done. It feels like we really should have seen last season out. But we win the Premier League, and the players don't even look like they were celebrating that too much. But we've won the Premier League. We've finally done it. We beat Liverpool 3-0 at home. Those of you guys that have seen my team talks, be it on my stream, on my Twitch stream, link below in the description, or, you know, in the odd episode here and there where I don't edit the team talk out, I'm normally pretty assertive. But a match like that, you have to be pleased against very good opposition like Liverpool. Augustinson, the icing on the cake, grabbing that third goal. Ex-Burnley man grabbing the first. And Gabriel Barbosa. Shame he couldn't get a second. I'm not quite sure what happens now between Yang and Barbosa. They both kind of finish tied as our top goal scorers. So I'm not quite sure who the top goal scorer of the season award goes to. It might go to the one that's got more league goals. Kind of feel sorry for Yang because he probably would have scored more if he didn't get injured in the Champions League, of course. But at this current moment in time, I couldn't care less. There we have it. Chelsea got the equaliser as well. So credit where it's due to them. And it just allowed them to create a bit of a gap between them and Spurs in 7th place. But I'm not quite sure if that's going to be enough for them to have guaranteed Europa League football. Which means we could have still drawn the game or lost come the end of the day. And we still would have been Premier League champions. Champions Blackburn, complete treble. And it's finally been done. We've huffed, we've puffed, and we beat the 2018-19 Premier League champions to clinch the title. I become one of the top English managers. Currently 7th, actually, in terms of English managers. I seem to be doing better than Roy Hodgson, even though I'm not really quite sure how much of a success that really is. Let's actually take a look at that. So what have we won so far? We've won 1 Community Shield, 2 EFL Cups, 1 FA Cup, 1 Premier League, as we know, 1 UEFA Super Cup, and 1 Europa League. And obviously that could easily become 2 FA Cups. Look at all this green. It could easily become 2 FA Cups if we see Man City out in the next episode at Wembley. So, I bring success for Blackburn fans. The curtain comes down on the Premier League. The board are happy with the Premier League win. Damn right they're happy with the Premier League win. And yeah, a nice bit of dollar, I guess, after that. So I think that is going to be it for this episode. Let's end it on a high. In terms of goals scored, actually, just before we do that, selection info goals. Yeah, so both Nyang and Barbosa kind of tied with the same amount of goals, but it actually looks like Nyang will probably end up getting the better award in terms of, you know, what the players have all together accomplished, because not only has he got 21 goals, but 15 assists. Unbelievable this season in Bayern Yang, and you just can't help but think maybe, just maybe, he would have made a difference in that game where we drew 1-1 against Napoli and got knocked out of the Champions League. Because if you ask me, we've got what it takes to win the Champions League. We've got the quality in this squad to win the Champions League, but it just wasn't meant to be. What's going to be even more disappointing is that it's Bayern-Napoli in the final. It's probably going to be Bayern who'll end up winning. We had Bayern in our group. We beat them once and drew against them once. But we're Premier League champions. I'm going to go celebrate. And if you've enjoyed the video, there will be more. It will be the FA Cup game, at least one more episode, which will be the FA Cup, of course. Also, we'll take a quick look at the World Cup that is coming up, of course, because it'll be the 2022 World Cup in the next episode before the FA Cup final as well. And since we actually have the FA Cup final, Nyang and Barbosa could still beat one another. It only just occurred to me in terms of who will get the top goal scorer award. Can you imagine if Barbosa ends up scoring a goal, beating Nyang to the top goal scorer award, and then Piaka gets an assist, beating Nyang to the most assists award? You'd feel sorry for Nyang. But anyways, I don't think anyone's going to beat his 13 Player of the Match awards for this season, regardless of what happens. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. After what happened to us in the Champions League, you can bet that I enjoyed this episode. Thanks, Liverpool, for making it so easy. See you next time.